So I saw Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I'm going to call it Black Panther 2 because I'm not going to keep saying Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I saw Black Panther 2 and I'm a white person. I know there was drama before this movie came out saying that if white people go see it on opening weekend, you're taking that away from black people who could be seeing it opening weekend. Some people even saying white people should buy tickets for black people and go hand them out, which I think that wouldn't have turned out good if people did that. But I feel like that's just a small group of people, but I expect those people to pop back up if this movie underperforms in box office expectations, or if it's not number one in the 10th week in a row, or if it doesn't break a certain record, or if it doesn't pass a certain movie. I feel like those same people who told white people not to go see it opening weekend and let black people do it, those same people will probably blame white people for not seeing it enough after the first opening weekend. So expect that. I've seen some tweets, not a lot, but some tweets kind of referencing and going that direction with it. So look out for that if that ends up blowing up in the coming weeks at all. But regardless, what is my thoughts on Black Panther Wakanda Forever? This is my review. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will be talking about certain parts of the movie. Again, not spoilers, but if you want to go in completely blindsided, not even knowing what the movie is supposed to be about, then don't watch this video and watch this after you've seen the movie if you're interested in my thoughts. And also feel free to comment what you thought of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2. If you have seen the movie, comment down below. Now, my thoughts on the movie, we're going to cut it up into chunks and move on from there. I got a little bit of a hot take, I guess, at the end of this video, so make sure to stick around for that. First, the visual effects. Visual effects are good. A lot better than Black Panther 1. Obviously, we know in the third act, the battle between Black Panther and Killmonger did not look good at all. I felt like this movie, they were able to refine things, make sure everything went according to plan, and nothing was rushed. All the visual effects look good. Yeah, overall, visual effects, really good. A lot better than the first movie. The underwater scenes are really good. And obviously all the fighting, the flying ships, and all this other crazy stuff that you're going to end up seeing, really good. The score, the music, the soundtrack to the movie, really good. Rihanna's song was good. I wasn't really into Rihanna's song at the very end of the movie because I was more having a conversation during the credits with, my brother and my girlfriend, my sister about the movie and all and yada yada yada, and that's how most people are in the theaters. As soon as credits roll, time to talk about the movie real quick. But usually they have a really nice song. In the first Black Panther, they had a really nice song play at the end of the credits, and then at this one they had the Rihanna song, I believe. And yeah, I thought the score was good. I thought Rihanna's song was good. I thought there were certain moments, at least from what I heard, there was no music playing while certain characters were talking and doing things, and I think that was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Sometimes you need the movie to breathe. You do not need to amplify the movie with music all the time. Sometimes you can de-amplify it, if that's the right word to use. You can make it worse, or you can flip the emotion on what we could have felt if there was no music playing. And I feel like movies like The Dark Knight, and there's many other movies out there that do this so well when cutting out the music where it needs to be. And I feel like this is Ryan Coogler just having hands-on in the editing room saying, hey, this is a quiet scene. No score. But hey, maybe there was something there. There's just a moment or two where I noticed I didn't hear anything. And I was like, just perfect. But yeah, score good, visual effects good. Let's move on to the story. So yeah, the story is about King T'Challa ended up passing away. Chadwick Boseman, the actor who played Black Panther T'Challa, he died, so the movie didn't want to recast the character, so they ended up making the character T'Challa pass away, and they made him pass away, in a very understandable, and they didn't make it I'm not trying to spoil the movie, but they did not make T'Challa, in his absence, be the main overall thing in the movie. I felt like if I went into the movie and they were trying to revenge him from some evil person or whatever, it would have taken away from that, and it would have felt like, we're going to use that as a good pinpoint for the movie, and I wouldn't have liked that. So I liked the way that they had to end up writing out the character, but I felt like this movie would have been a way more solid movie if they went a certain direction, and they were all the way up until right before the third act of the movie. I think that's mainly a story thing and what Ryan Coogler and the writers of the movie had to rewrite because of the passing of Chadwick Boseman, and they didn't want to recast it, but I felt like if they recast it and kept whatever they did, I felt like this movie would have been slightly different. I could be completely wrong. Maybe this is the best version of the movie that we got, but I do believe that the story went a certain direction, and near the third act of the movie, I didn't really like how it ended up turning out because you expect it to go this way. And obviously, surprising you can be a good thing, but when it surprises you and it's just like, oh, that's what it is. Okay, what else? Okay, that was it? And that's sort of how it felt. Now, I could be alone here and everything, and that's completely fine, but I wish this movie just would have went a certain way. And again, that all comes down to the story, what they ended up writing, and what the general idea was going to be for the movie continuing. I think that the villain and the whole species that Namor and his people bring is written in a good way in the MCU. I wish they would have shown more of Namor and the people of whatever the Atlantis place is. They have a different name for it instead of just it being Atlantis, but okay. I wish we would have seen more of that. We do get a decent chunk in this movie, and I guess it is written in a way where you can still focus on the main cast, the Wakandans of this movie, but wish we would have got more. Wish we could just take a break from Wakanda and say, okay, there's another advanced society that lives underwater. Let's check out these guys for this portion of the movie. I felt like that would have been a good balance. So it's a good 50-50 movie, but I get it. You want to focus most of the time on the Wakandans and the supporting cast that Chadwick had right behind him in the first movie. Let's focus on them and their grief of the character. Also, you notice the acting has part of it. So let's move on to the acting. The acting was phenomenal. It was really good, like across the board. I feel like the actor who played Namor did really good. Queen Ramonda, I think that's how you pronounce her name. The queen, the mother of T'Challa, really good. Angela Bassett. Shuri, Winston Duke as M'Baku, and everybody else did a wonderful job. And I feel like this movie really goes on the shoulders of Shuri. So the acting that the actress did that played Shuri, sorry I don't know her name, she did a really wonderful job. And honestly, I don't think there was any need to improve moments from her acting. I think she did a good job. There will be a lot of moments in this where you'll see the actors mourning over the death of the character, but sometimes you just think to yourself, you might, like I did, you might just think, okay, is that the character crying or is that the actor crying? And understandably, because, you know, what happened with Chadwick Boseman is tragic, unexpected, but I have one more gripe, and it kind of has to do with, obviously, Chadwick, the character, and them deciding to not recast. I feel like the direction of this movie would have been different. And there could have been some serious, really serious moments in this movie if they ended up recasting and having T'Challa in the movie. Obviously, a lot of things change if T'Challa's in the movie. But I felt like maybe recasting was the way to go. Marvel's already proved that they're willing to recast if a actor passes away in a role. The actor who played Thunderbolt Ross passed away, and it seems like they're recasting with Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross, but not with T'Challa and Black Panther. Yeah, the roles are different. You know, Thunderbolt Ross is more of a supporting character than anything else, but they're still willing to tell a story, and the actor who played Thunderbolt Ross, what he did with that character is not just stopping dead in its tracks because the actor passed away. There's somebody there to help carry the mantle. And I felt like what Chadwick did with T'Challa and Black Panther, we weren't ready to say goodbye to this character yet. And I don't think anybody really is. So if you go into the movie crying with the actors that you see on screen crying about T'Challa, you're not really ready. Maybe we are supposed to be ready. Maybe this is Marvel saying, okay, be ready to say goodbye to T'Challa forever. But why not carry on that legacy, what we had planned for that character? Because there was major rewrites for this movie when Chadwick Boseman passed away. So there was an idea to still have T'Challa in the movie. I felt like this movie, the version of this movie we could have gotten maybe is better if we recast it. Now, obviously, Marvel probably wanted to avoid anybody being angry about that and yada, yada, yada. Whoever the actor was that was going to, replace Chadwick, they would have been heavily criticized for every little thing they do in the movie and outside the movie and compare it to Chadwick all the time. I get there was a lot of struggle there. But if it meant continuing on the work of Chadwick, instead of just cutting it dead in its tracks, I felt like overall, in the long run, whatever the short-term problems are, I felt like in the long run, it would have been worth it. And overall, I really wish we still had the character of T'Challa here. I used to watch Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. It was this cartoon or whatever, and it had T'Challa and Black Panther in it. The first time I saw Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I binge-watched it all, and my first experience with that character was not played by Chadwick. It was played by somebody else, and I felt like that person did a very good job. So I felt like, yes, Chadwick Boseman passed away. Somebody else is going to be able to play that character and move on with that character. Not forgetting what Chadwick did, but building upon that for him. And I feel like we do this every single day with humanity. We build things, we have things created and handed down to us. The things that you have right now that you want to hand down to future generations or hand off to somebody. We all help each other out and we all help build what we have and what we have created. And I get it, Marvel did not want to recast. This movie's coming out 2 years right after the passing of Chadwick Boseman. I understand they didn't want to do this, but I feel like at some point, if the MCU is going to reboot or if we're going to get some multiverse stuff, hopefully we can get the character of T'Challa back. The ending of Black Panther 2 kind of tries to do something where maybe there's this, and if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That one person at the end of the movie, but it doesn't feel the same. If I saw another actor in the role of T'Challa, it would be like I'm looking at Chadwick, and I would have all the wonderful memories of what Chadwick brought to all of us. And again, might be a hot take. Some people believe this and are stone cold on it. I'm happy with what we got, and I feel like Marvel can still do good stuff with the Black Panther IP going forward, but I'm always going to wonder why, and in my mind I might think, yeah, maybe that was the route to go. Having said all of that though, there is a surprise cameo in this movie, and I'm very happy with it. I would have been sad if there was nothing at all. I was actually kind of expecting something, and I'm happy the way we got it. I was surprised the way we got it. I'm surprised the way it affected the story and the characters, and I'm very happy with the cameo. So if you go into this movie not liking that they didn't recast T'Challa, go see the movie still, because that cameo might just be the saving grace, and you'll be happy with that. Overall, I do think this movie is a good movie. I feel like there's certain parts of the story they could have gone for, but they didn't. I'm happy overall with the story, but obviously I'm always going to have those thoughts, maybe this could be done in a different way. And I don't know the answer completely, but I can know that there's maybe something a little fishy with this. Not in a bad way or anything, just, and again, I've only saw the movie once. I've sat down for a full day to process my thoughts, to make sure I really feel this way, and I do. Every other element of the movie, besides the way it went, I felt like overall was good. The direction was good. The camera work is good. It doesn't really bring anything new to the MCU, just continues what the first Black Panther movie did and what it brought and built upon it. And obviously there's a lot of MCU flares here and there in the movie, which I was hoping it was less of, because Marvel's old thing was we do different things, and now they all kind of feel the same. But overall, they still make good content. I don't think they're terrible like some people do. I don't think Phase 4 was a complete dud. There are some good things in Phase 4. You're going to tell me Shang-Chi was not a good movie? That was a wonderful movie, and it was vastly different from a lot of things that we've seen before. With some MCU stuff in there, yes, similar to this movie, Black Panther 2. Yes, it continues what Black Panther did, but there's a lot of just MCU flares in there when there could have been something brand new and something completely from Ryan Coogler. But I don't know, maybe that is just what Ryan Coogler is doing. I have no idea. Having said that, with a kind of story that I wish would have been a better way, but all the other elements are good, and what was served on the plate was perfect. as perfect as it could be, out requesting more or anything else, this movie is a solid 7 out of 10. I had it thinking around an 8 or a 9 when I left the movie, and it's only slightly went down since, and I really do think the more you think about the movie and the more you thought, what if, it really changed your taste for this movie. But that's okay. If you're not willing to change the way you think about things after learning new information or just having your brain process everything, that's fine. Just because my numbers went from an 8 or a 9 right out of the theater down to a 7 when I'm recording this video does not mean the movie's terrible at all. Just means there could have been more, and without that little bit more, the movie falls around a little bit of a 7. But yeah, that's my review. That's my score, 7 out of 10. What did you guys think of Black Panther Wakanda Forever? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys all next time. Peace.